When we moved into our one-bedroom apartment, we only had a coffee table and some borrowed camping chairs to sit in, which didn't really make for the best dining experience.
Obviously.
Over the years, we collected a bunch of different pieces of furniture, but we really struggled to find the ideal arrangement for that furniture once we had it. So here's the deal. Our living room is like this long shoebox shape, with windows on one side, an overhead fan in front of the balcony doors, a kitchen bar space with a really shallow countertop, and floor heaters on two different sides. All of these things made furniture placement a little bit tricky, especially when we considered what we wanted for the space. For one, we wanted a workspace to work on our computers because we really didn't want to put a big desk in our bedroom. They say that no man is an island. False. I am an island. We also obviously wanted a place to relax in our living area, a place to watch TV, read, take naps, etc. And we wanted a place to be able to eat breakfast and dinner while still having access to our balcony doors. Which brings me to my first tip, and that is to know what you want out of your living space. As with any room, the first major thing we had to consider was our windows. Windows can dictate quite a lot in the home. They can tell you how you should center furniture. They can dictate how hot a room gets. They can dictate where a TV might go. So it was really important for us to think about windows and how that would relate to furniture placement. For us, we considered putting our couch up against the wall under the window, but it doesn't work because if you're watching television while you're sitting on the couch, you get a lot of glare from the light coming in through the window. So we had to consider putting the couch somewhere else. We actually decided to put our desk in this corner by the window, and for one, it is kind of a big thing to have in the living room. Putting it in a corner helps to keep it off to the side. But the other thing is that if you're working on the computer for a long time, it's really nice to be able to look out of a window, look at the trees, look at the sky, see something that is farther away, rather than just looking at a close-up screen all the time. So it actually makes a lot of sense for a desk to go here. So my second tip is to think about the windows that you have in your home and what that might mean for furniture placement. So the workspace was confirmed and we were ready to move on. Next, while we wanted a cozy, comfortable place to relax, we couldn't really figure out initially where to put the couch, or even which couch we wanted. A couch facing a window would mean that the living space was not contained. Our entire giant shoebox living room would be one big mix of dining, working, and relaxing, and there would actually be no focal point of the living area itself. So we settled on getting an L-shaped sofa from IKEA, and we decided to point the couch towards this corner that you see behind me. And that really helped to corner off the living space and separate it from everything else. Facing the windowless corner, there was now a space for us to read. We could potentially put a TV up, we could take naps, and do all of that stuff that we wanted to do in the living room. Now the final task was to create a small but nice looking dining area. Keep in mind that the ceiling fan that has the light on it is right in front of the door to the balcony, and that the bar area at the kitchen has a counter that is way too small to be able to be used for a dining area of any kind. Naturally, it appears the apartment is calling on us to put a table underneath the ceiling fan. It would center things nicely and there'd be a light directly overhead. But as good as it looks, it doesn't work. Putting a table with chairs under that ceiling fan blocks direct access to the balcony, and it makes it harder to get cooking supplies out of the credenza. But perhaps more importantly, it hinders the natural flow of movement in the living room. With the table there, we would have to weave in between furniture all day long to get to the different spaces in our living area. And this leads me to tip number 3. Always make sure you have clear, unblocked walkways through the home that don't cut through any other areas. You'll thank me later for that one. The most logical place to put the dining table was therefore right on the other side of the couch, using that back of the couch as a natural barrier between the relaxing area and the eating space. This freed up a lot of walking space in the living room and provided clear access to the balcony and credenza by the kitchen. So that's it. That's how we came up with our optimal furniture arrangement for our living room in our 1-bedroom apartment. It has everything we need, all the different spaces that we were looking for, and it works. Apartments can be tricky spaces sometimes, so remember to experiment with a few different furniture arrangements to see what works for you, and use the tips in this video to help as well. If you are curious about the pros, cons, and other information about the furniture that we have in our apartment, most of which is IKEA, I actually made a whole video that you can check out right here where I rank all of the IKEA furniture that we own. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.